Hello, welcome back to this little freelance video series that I'm doing. This is sort of the third video now. It's been a little while since the last one, but that is because I'm sort of extending the time frame of these. So rather than every 3 months, I'm going to try and do them every 6 months. And this way it's going to run from like January to the end of June and then June to December. So it's a nicer time frame to be working with. But yeah, it's really weird to look back, especially in the last 6 months. It's been also exactly a year since I graduated, so seeing the class below me graduating, it feels really weird, and it's sort of making me think, what have I been doing with myself for the last year? Like, I can't believe it's been almost a year since I started freelancing. But I think it's going okay. I have to keep reminding myself that I'm not expected to be like super successful straight away, and that I am doing some really fun things and I'm enjoying myself, and so that's fine. So I've had to write down everything I've got up to, because it turns out I need to make more notes as I'm going along, because trying to remember what I've done for the last 6 months has been difficult. But it's been good, and so as usual we'll start off with freelance work. So the first project I got up to was with Creative Coffee Morning. So it's run by 2 lovely people, and every month a whole bunch of creative people, we all meet up on Zoom and there's like a little talk, and then we get to just discuss. It's a nice little networking event, and I was asked to do a poster for the event. So that was a fun little commission that I got to do back in January. I also did some work for Creative Fabrica. They have a section on their website where they host sort of online courses, and they asked me if I'd like to make 3 courses for them of different abilities. So I did a beginner, intermediate and advanced level course for them, covering, I think the first one I did was all about making greetings cards. The second one was making stickers and how to draw animals and sort of exaggerating poses. And the third one was how to make your own animated GIFs using Procreate. So it was quite fun to actually make sort of longer format tutorial videos. I'm used to doing ones here on YouTube which are a little bit shorter and not quite as thorough. So it was a good experience. I'll have some links in the description as well if you want to find out where those videos are, and if you wanted to sort of join Creative Fabrica, where you can watch my videos as well as loads of other videos from other people about different subjects. So that was another good little job that I got to do. I did a personal commission of a logo design for a company called Tiger Milk Baby, and I'll put some pictures up because she sent me some of the pictures of my logo that had been like put up on a sign and like on the business cards and stuff. So if you know my work, you know that I absolutely love drawing tigers. So when she asked me if I'd like to do this logo for her, I was like all for it. It was so good. I think I also mentioned this in one of the previous videos, but I was being approached by a sort of a new publishing house to see if they could publish one of the books that I've illustrated in the past. But in order to publish it, they wanted me to make a bunch of new character drawings for it. So it's going to hopefully be a sort of a personable children's book, so children can pick the main character that looks most like them. So I had to illustrate every character in the book 8 different times for the 8 different characters that I came up with, which was quite a lot of work because the main character was on like every page multiple times. I think I did over 130 odd drawings in the end. So that took me quite a few months. I worked on that sort of between March and sort of the end of May. I was working on all those drawings. But it was really nice because that was a project that I did in my 2nd year of college, I think. So that's like 4 years ago now. So that was good, and I'm hoping, I haven't heard anything about it yet, but maybe one day I'll be able to share where you can buy the book. I'm still working with the same dog company that I've been working with since I think October or November now. So I've continued making social media illustrations for them for different things. So I did one, they're an American based company, so a lot of them have been for like 4th of July, Memorial Day, I did some for Easter. They just go up on their Instagram, which is good fun. It gives me something. I love drawing dogs anyway. I still draw lots of dogs for pet portraits and stuff, so it's just fun to draw lots of dogs having fun. And I think the last little thing, it wasn't any new work, but it was quite exciting that the creator of this magazine, Voracious Magazine, Eliott, she wanted to license a drawing that I had done a little while ago. And so this is technically the first time my work has been printed in a magazine. So it's not with the text or anything, but it just looks quite nice next to it. Which is the piece I did about waiting for the sun. But yeah, so that's really cool. My work is in a magazine, and it's a really cool magazine. I would definitely check it out because there's some really lovely articles in here. So that's everything for the freelance work I've got up to, I'm pretty sure. The next is all about personal projects. So I actually did manage to work on a few different personal projects. I managed to sort of squeeze them in. Most of them were Instagram challenges. I find that I really enjoy working on Instagram challenges because usually lots of people are doing them, so you sort of all encourage each other and see how everyone else is interpreting prompts. And it sort of gives you the ideas, so you have sort of less to think about, so I can usually fit them in around my own things. So every day in February I made a pattern for Melanie Johnson's pattern challenge, which is cool. Ooh, give me a sec. I also have that, I can show you. So this was the printed magazine she made after the pattern challenge had finished. So it's a, hold it the right way. So it's a giant magazine and a bunch of people who made patterns for it all got put into here. And mine, I'll just have this up. My one for the Iceland prompt got picked, so there was also this this newspaper, which is good fun, and there are so many beautiful patterns in this. It's so nice seeing them so big and all next to each other. So that was something that happened from that. I then also did the Fun with Faces challenge from Charlie Clements on Instagram. I really enjoyed this one actually because she would give 3 prompts for each day and you had to kind of design a character based off of them, but they were sort of vague enough prompts that you could do lots of stuff with it, but it kind of gave you something to work from. So I really enjoyed that, and having 3 meant you could kind of like see how you could combine them. And I really enjoyed that one. It gave me the opportunity to really do some more detailed character work than I normally do. Usually my stuff's a bit more kind of simplified, so I got to add some more details and stuff, which was really good fun. And then lastly, sort of an actual personal project that I did was one that I came up with myself. So in April I got COVID and I was spending a lot of time just sort of laying down outside and I came up with this idea of creating a fictional community garden and designing the branding and the illustration work for it. It was a lot of fun. I designed a mural, which was probably one of my favourite things. It was such a long drawing of all these fun characters. It was so good. And then I did some posters, I did a landing page. Just designing the logo was fun because I cut all the paper out by hand and like scanned it and made that into the logo. I was using some new Procreate brushes that I got from Retro Supply, their Rhizo print pack, because with the community garden I want it to be very like environmentally friendly, and so obviously Rhizo printing is, but I don't have access to a Rhizo printer, so I used the brushes to sort of create fake ones. And then I just had a lot of fun while I wasn't very well, just making lots of fake Rhizo prints. So that was really good. And that's sort of most of the personal work that I did. I guess this will be a very quick overview of my shop because my shop has not been doing so great the last 6 months, which is probably because I haven't been promoting very much or making any new products for it. In January and February I had like quite a good month, which is weird because normally after Christmas it's like the opposite. Normally it like really dips after Christmas, but it was pretty steady for those first couple of months. I think I had a sale in January, which massively helped. I got quite a lot of sales from that. But then after that, like from March till June pretty much, it's been like 1 or 2 sales a month maybe. I got a few more in June because I did another sale, but I don't like doing sales too often, so I think my next task is definitely to design some more products. I have been working on some. I designed this new print yesterday that I can show you. It's gonna hopefully look like this. I need to test print it because my worst habit is definitely the fact that I draw everything in RGB and then wonder why it doesn't print properly because I use the brightest, most saturated colours. So that's my own fault, but hopefully that print's going to come out okay, and I have some other ones that I've been working on. I think I've been telling myself I'm going to do a shop update for like months now, but hopefully soon. I'm hoping before the end of summer, but we shall see. So that's pretty much everything. I think the only other thing I'd mention, I did get a couple of inquiries from agencies for work. So one of them I think was just seeing if I'd ever be available if a project came up. So I think they've got my details, and hopefully if something comes up I might be contacted by them. But I also was contacted by another one who did want me to do some work and had a project in mind and told me all about the project, and I got very, very excited about it because it was for a very big, well-known client, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I never heard from them again. And I have just seen, just yesterday, they posted the finished work on their Instagram with someone else's work, which is fine. I just maybe wish you would have told me. But I guess that's how it works. So yes, I have a couple of things at the moment for the next couple of months lined up, which I'm excited, but you'll have to wait until the next update because I don't want to spoil it all now. But yeah, overall, it's not been too bad. I'm definitely on track to make the same or sort of more money than I have last year, so I think that's at least a good sign. But yeah, I'm hoping that if I work a bit harder, and maybe I will finally do some outreach, because I keep telling myself I'm going to do it, and it always gets pushed to one side over other things. But maybe I'll finally do some outreach and try and get some clients for myself. I feel like, yeah, looking back on these videos, it's good for me to see what I've done, but it's also good to sort of set goals and be like, okay, this is what I want to do though, and make those goals happen. So that's going to be planned for the next few months, just kind of keep going, I mean, as usual. But yeah, I hope you find this useful in some way. I've written in a lot more detail what I've been up to in the blog post that's kind of going alongside this video, so that'll be in the description as well if you wanted to check that out. There's just a few more bits that I probably missed out when I was talking about this. And also I'm going to be doing some more stuff with some statistics, so I love a good graph, so I'm going to be like breaking down how much money I've earned and from where, and like what's working and how many clients and invoices and stuff, just because I like being able to compare facts, and then in the next 6 months I'll make those graphs again and see where we're going. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.